Well, the unthinkable has finally happened. Arsenal lost to Manchester City yesterday 2-1, and at this point, if Manchester City win this Wednesday against Burnley, they will be even on points. Still will be plenty of games left to be played, but there is a really, really good chance now that Arsenal don't have control of this title race, and they have potentially bottled it yesterday versus Manchester City. What's going to define this game for me for the upcoming years and even this year is that this was a game of margins. Arsenal had the ability to take the chances in this game, and they just didn't finish them. Yes, City played better, in my opinion, throughout the entirety of the game, but Arsenal had their chances, and they had multiple, and they just could not capitalize to get themselves over the line. I thought Arteta set up the team well yesterday. I thought he did a good job of picking out the lineup. I like that he went with Kai Havertz at the 9. He's been a little bit better against Manchester City. We were not going to be able to be as effective with Victor Gyökeres at the 9 by trying to go long. And we saw what Kai Havertz was able to do yesterday. And again, even throughout the lineup, starting Odegaard and Eze, I didn't mind that. I actually really, really didn't mind that. I thought it was a little bit more creative when it came, moving forward. I really just liked the entire lineup. The only questionable thing I had for Arteta was subbing Eze off when he did. After Eze had just missed a near chance. To take off Eze, where in my opinion you could have taken off Odegaard. Look, Odegaard had some chances here and there, but I thought Eze really was your most impactful player moving forward, and that was a little shocking to me by Arteta. But again, this game was defined by the players, and it was defined by the margins that were just that slim yesterday. And it first starts in the 59th minute. Arsenal are on the break. Odegaard actually has a great pass to Havertz. Havertz has a one-on-one with Donnarumma, and it is deflected by Donnarumma. No score there. Not much later in the 65th minute, Eze with a beautiful shot to his left. It's curling and just gets deflected. Doesn't go in. I mean, that was the chance of the game in my opinion. That was the one that could have gotten Arsenal over the line. Didn't matter how it was going to go in. As long as it did, I give Eze credit for taking that shot. But again, it doesn't go in. And then probably the easiest chance you're going to get all day in the 95th minute, right before the end of stoppage time, a free header from Kai Havertz, another miss. Gabriel also had a really good header in there as well and just didn't take the right deflection. I couldn't remember the exact minute of it, but still, there were multiple chances for Arsenal, and they just didn't capitalize. I mean, they had chances as well in the first half, and I thought Arsenal actually looked really, really good in the first half. Surprisingly, in the second half, I didn't think they looked as good, but they had more of the chances, and they just couldn't put any of them away. And that's what's so frustrating about this game is because you see where Arsenal could have gotten over the line. You see where they were at and how close they were to getting past City, even on a day where it wasn't their day. But this again comes back to all of the things that we talked about prior to this game, why we're even in this position at all. Again, getting a draw against Wolves in the last second, losing last week to Bournemouth, the multiple times you've dropped points or not been able to put away teams when City have given you opportunities. Again, that is what is going to define this season. And now something that I've really been thinking about over the last couple weeks, but specifically in the last week because of the situation we're in, is the recruitment. I start again with Kai Havertz, a guy that I don't want to nag on because I thought he played really well yesterday other than his finishing, and he's done a lot for Arsenal. But a guy that's making one of the highest payrolls in Arsenal history. He has not been able to finish clinical chances when required to for this club. You also look at, again, Victor Gyökeres not starting the game. Almost didn't play the entire game. Got a few minutes here and there. Didn't touch the ball once yesterday. And I've been a fan of Victor Gyökeres in 2026. He's really started to come on a little bit. But obviously, him not starting is a reflection on him. A guy that has not been able to fully adapt to the Premier League and make his mark on the league and take over these games. He's just not that type of player. And again, the amount of money you gave out for this guy, this was supposed to be the guy, and he just hasn't been. Arsenal still have a striker question. Madueke has been poor the last couple weeks as well. I mean, getting subbed off at halftime. There was absolutely nothing from Madueke that I saw yesterday that was positive. Again, that was supposed to be your backup right winger or a guy that can fill in when Saka's down like in these times, and we have not been able to rely on him. An extension to Trossard as well, a guy that you needed to step up after he was already in form. He then drops off form. You look at City, they get a guy like Semenyo. It's night and day for what they did in the January transfer window compared to what Arsenal did. did. And last is I go back to Norgard over the summer, a guy that I thought could have really helped this team, a veteran presence, a guy that was a captain at Brentford. All for Arteta never to even play this guy, whether that's on Arteta or that's on Norgard. You now see how tired the midfield is with Zubimendi and Declan Rice. These are the things that come back to bite you with Arsenal's recruitment, and you start to realize that, this time of the season, because this is when the bodies are dead, this is when they're slow, this is when they're tired and exhausted, this is when you've had to rotate multiple times, and these are when these glaring issues, they might not show up in the beginning, but they are really going to show their face by the end of the season. Where do Arsenal even go from here? Where do they even go from here? And really all you can say is, you hope to God that Manchester City slip up, and I'm still not officially convinced that Manchester City are going to go on that run, even though it looks like they are. We've seen multiple times where they've been able to throw this away for themselves. So again, it's not a given, but I don't have a ton of faith that they're going to mess it up, and you just have to hope that Arsenal can maximize the Champions League. This is the most down I've been on this team in a really, really long time. I know the guys got to step it up as well. I'm glad they honestly get a little time to kind of dwell on this, just because this has to be such an emotional reset that's needed, and it really feels like they're going to need that. So that's just kind of where I'm at, and I'm sure that's where really a majority of this fan base is at, because yesterday was just such a deflating loss. If you made it this far in the video, I greatly, greatly appreciate you. Feel free to give this video a like. Drop any of your thoughts down below. I'd love to hear them. Again, just such a tough loss to take. And again, if you like this type of content, feel free to subscribe. TikTok will be in the description down below. And again, I will see you guys on the next one. Peace, guys.